Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's up, guys? It's Sam, or the Portuguese mofo here, and I'm trying to just look for games right now. But in the meantime, I figured I would do a battle replay from yesterday. So I had the 3 that I posted yesterday for my Follow the Samurai series, and I went without the headset on that, and it's just becoming clear to me when I listen. This is just a lot clearer, right? My voice doesn't cut out, those types of things. Damn, I felt like the breathing was bad yesterday, but that's all aside the point. Anyways, but I was able to get 3 battles later on, and so this match, 2v2, me and Black Fury versus Giuliano and why can I not say Giuliano? Okay, anyways, and then original, right? OG. So yeah, we did this 2v2, and then actually it just followed up. I was able to play them each in a 1v1, and they were all good close matches. To be honest, my 1v1 versus Giuliano, he beat me pretty decisively, but I thought it was still a good match of maneuvers. So we'll see if I get to recording that one. If I can get in games, I'm going to get into games. But so we got me and Black Fury versus Original and Giuliano. Well, I don't know why I can't say that today. Anyways, so Black Fury here on the right. Now, I didn't get to see a ton of what was going on the right here because obviously I was fighting the battle. So, but Black Fury is going to come out on top. I remember just kind of taking checks and just seeing that it was close because we were really close on our side too. So, to me, this turned out to be quite a balanced match, and a really good game, right? That went. It was a decently long match. So, anyways, right? Black Fury here for Cav. He's got one. Is that just one Yari Cav? So 1 Yari Cav, 1 light Cav. Oh, excuse me. So that's 2 Yari Cav and 2 light Cav on each flank, right? Left and right center of his flanks. Okay, he's got 1, 2, 3 Matchlock Samurai. 2 Matchlock Samurai, 1 Matchlock Ashigaru. He's got 1. So he's got Naginata Samurai, Naginata Attendants. So if I had to guess, it looks like he brought a Naginata Attendant. So 2 Naginata Attendants, or 3? 3 Naginata Attendants. He's got 1 Naginata Samurai. Is it only 1? It looks to be only the 1 Naginata Samurai. 1 Yari Ashigaru. He's got 1, 2, 3 Nodachi Samurai. Make that 4 Nodachi Samurai. He's got a unit of Bow Cav. He's got a unit of Bow Ashigaru. And I believe that is all of it. And then, of course, Omni-Man. Alright, Omni-Man, if you know the series Invincible. Right, so he's got a melee gen here. A melee gen with a standard fight. So more so a leadership gen, I guess. If I had to guess, he probably went more. But he also scares enemies there. So, which is a leadership. So yeah, he probably went down the leadership track and then started adding to Bushido, if I had to guess. Excuse me. In my force here. So definitely went a little more balanced here, right? So I've got 3, 2 Bow Warrior Monks and a Bow Samurai. Okay, on my left flank here where I put the priority of my Cav, I've got Great Guard and Yari Cav. Alright, so 2 Great Guards, 2 Yari Cav over there on my left flank, and then I also have 2 Bow Cavalry with my General, and then I've got a Yari Ashigaru on my right and left flanks, and then I've got 3 Katana Samurai for my core. You'll notice that they are veteran, right? I brought non-veteran, all vanilla infantry, okay? Right, so now I'm starting getting into part of the game where I'm trying to kind of, I guess for lack of a better term, guess retainers are going to get played against me, and different things like that. So like now I didn't get world weary here, played against me, but right, I'm starting to find that a little bit of a balance on each side for veterans and non-veterans can be useful. Right, and then sometimes like winning a battle, like we'll see it if I get to the battle that I play against original later. Like I win that battle because I outnumber him by it was more than 1,000 troops, I think. Right, and you know I got no problem admitting that. You know, and it comes down to pretty much the last guys. He had a unit of katana samurai absolutely slay in that battle. But anyways, that's kind of reflecting on something that's not here to task. So let's get to originals and Giuliano's armies. So we've got fire rockets, right? He's always got those fire rockets coming. I shouldn't say always, but a lot, and he's very effective with them. So he's got the Naginata Samurai. Naginata Samurai. For a second, I thought it was attendants, but it is Samurai up at the front. He's got 3 Lone Sword Ashigaru. He's got 2 Katana Samurai, and then his bodyguard. And he absolutely has his cav hidden somewhere. So we've got Giuliano here. He's got Yari Ashigaru, a Nodachi, and a Naginata warrior monks here on the right flank. Alright, and it looks like he's got some battle groups here of Matchlock Samurai and Yari Ashigaru. One of them being a Matchlock warrior monks with the long Yari Ashigaru, right? So strong front there, Matchlock Samurai, Yari Ashigaru. Alright, and then same thing here on the flank, Nodachi, Naginata warrior monks, and Yari Ashigaru. He's got light cav over there on the left flank with them. None there. He's got a Yari cav here in the center with his bodyguard that is a leadership general with some melee stats added. He's got a bow warrior monk as his only missile, if I remember correctly. And he might have another unit of cav hidden here in the woods. But we'll see. We'll watch it unfold. So we're moving forward here, right? Didn't even mention the dojos, right? But I've got the sword dojo close to me. That's very helpful. The archery dojo is closest to them, and the shrine is here. So they're going to fight for the shrine. He's going to get the archery dojo, but we kind of ignore it, even though he does get it, right? He's just right there. And I am going to have the attack dojo for most of this fight, but I will lose it at the end. But at that point in the battle, it is less important because of how it unfolds, right? So Black Fury is bringing his bow cav over to work with in conjunction with mine. Right, and when you play these team battles, sometimes like it can be really good. It can be really effective just to send one unit over to help. You see it a lot with Fall of the Samurai armies, especially. So getting some good shots into those Nodachis. He's able to get 12 in that salvo or that volley. Alright, we've got, they get engaged in the cav here right away. It's a good job. He's pulling them back here. It's great guard. So I'm going to get into it over here if I'm not mistaken. Actually, that's right. But we are, yeah. So he's going to send the cav over. Okay. And I'm going to do my best to switch between sides here. Catch things that are going on. So I think I do eventually take a charge over here. He's going to bring his general over. And I remember I decided to try and catch him. I don't think I end up doing it though. So they're engaged here, right? He was able to get these shots off. Is he able to switch them out? I'm not sure. He's getting some shots into those Matchlock Samurai. But here we go. Right, so I'm able to get both. He was able to catch these heavy lancers there. I'm pretty sure I gained control of him again and able to click past. I'd be curious if people would call that a pull through, right? I was right on his flank. They kind of got caught right on the edge. Like, from everything I understand, that wouldn't be, but just a question of curiosity. You know, the minutia of rules sometimes can be difficult to navigate, and even maneuvers, right? So, but this cav fight, I remember I think I do pull out later, right? Because I notice it's close, but he got the Yaris in here, and I'm like, all right, that's gonna be able to turn the tide in his favor. So over here, it looks like Original, right, was able to get the better of the Cav fight, which he did have stronger Cav, and he's keeping them maneuvered, right? So now we're getting engaged here. All right, I was able to get into his right flank here. All right, and I was even able to get these Katana Samurai out this way. Now, a little unfortunate here, right? And I am targeting his matchlocks as much as I can with my bows, right? So I'm able to salvage enough of my Cav, right? He is able to save one of these Yaris. I'm pretty sure... Oh, no, he had the light Cav to get salvaged. So now, though, okay, I know, like, here on the right flank, we're going to do okay for a little bit. But I know here on the left flank, now these Katanas... Right, they're doing okay in the sense they're holding a lot of things up over here. So we're going to get a little charge into his general here. I'm pretty sure I popped the second wind. Yeah, I think I just popped it. It sounded like it maybe. Now over here, okay, we've got this going really close, right? Now one thing that helped Giuliani and me, right, he's got a group over there. Right, so he's got some assistance over here, and on top of that, he's able to come out of this fight still on top. They pretty much trade a lot of units, right, but he's able to salvage enough for the end fight here. So now I'm moving here. I'm trying to have those Katanas move now. Yep, I do start running them, because I'm like, alright, you guys need to actually get into them. Now, if I was being really smart, I'd make sure to stop their run right there. But able to catch the Matchlock Warrior Monks. Okay, I'm going to take out this light Cav. I do think I end up losing my one of them here. Or actually, maybe I get shot later on, right? So caught up into a little bit of a fight over here because they were chasing my bows, right? And I was just retreating. And so what I ended up doing is like let them chase. We'll micro there. Just because they're kind of sitting here, I was noticing that he was moving, so it's just like, alright, we can isolate these units, take out one by one. I'm going to notice this unit here, but I do think he ends up being able to salvage it. Right, not keep it isolated. Right, and we got Black Fury over here, okay. Original's been dwindled down, alright. He had some Yari Ashigaru that's chilling over there. And I'm just waiting for a good opportunity with my cavalry. Black Fury's been moving those bows around, so now we're in this situation. We have the range advantage, okay, and Black Fury's been able to keep enough infantry intact that will be able to hold, and so now it's just a matter of exercising patience. We just have the range advantage, right? He's got these bow warrior monks, but I've got two with the bow samurai, okay. He's got these matchlocks, but they can't get in range, right? So I'm going to use my own bows, make sure we stay out of their range. I think I was able... No, I don't think I actually ended up being able to touch him, but we're not trying to lose him that quick. This Yari Ashigaru does come back, so I'm able to just have them for a little bit. So Black Fury is going to start to consolidate and move this way, and it's really just a surround game now. I think that was OG's general. Let's see. Is he still here? Yeah. Because I do remember that happening in the battle and being like, I don't think his died. And obviously he did not. So again, right now we're just looking. I've got my Great Guard and my Yari Cat back here. And again, right now it's just a matter of patience. So I've got the range, and I do have plenty of ammo with all my guys, right? And you know, there's times, but it is a big reason why. And two-player, they are about to rout, I think. Oh nope, I think, yeah, there they go. I was like, yeah, I did end up losing them, but I like to bring bow cav, right, in big team battles, and just for that. Right, it gives you that late chance, especially if your allies win the battle, and you know, and right, I like to try and play good players, so what ends up happening a lot, especially if I'm playing well, they're playing well, right? We're gonna get a lot of trades. So in that late part of the battle, um, right, if you have the ability to, right, hit and run, so to speak, um, you can give good opportunities and chances, especially if you have an ally that can win their fight, or, and then especially, right, if you can just win your fight, that's ultimately at the goal. Now, I don't try to always bring Bocav to every team battle I fight, but I definitely have a tendency to do it. And right, a lot of times I'm thinking about this late game venture, okay? How can we best, right, how can I best continue the fight even late if I lose my side? Now, right, one thing that's not great is if, right, gets slaughtered, right? Now this, right, he does have a lot of units left, but I dwindled them down pretty well. So, and because Black Fury was able to win his side, okay, we do have the infantry at least to engage if we need to. I would give technically the slight edge to be honest, I don't know if he really has an edge in infantry. You know, he's got all the Yari Yashigaru, so the spear wall. We have a few less, but the thing is between the guns and the bows and all this, like, right, just too much range, right? We're routing Yari Yashigaru before they can even get into us, just by shooting. So, yeah, I get a charge into these matchlocks over here with my Great Guard. Pop that second wind just because I can. Keep them alive. Right, continue and carry on. I'm going to get a little spear wall into them as they're getting shot in the back. He's going to send in his own Naginata attendants. Then the matchlock warrior monks are going to rout here shortly. So there's the notice that we're about to win. I love how just 2 of the Great Guard charged there. That was just a funny thing to notice right there. Here we go. Just the last shots. And that's it. So, really good games to my opponents. That was a fun battle. I enjoyed it. So, right, and it's always just good to have games that are engaging, right? With people that are engaged in tactics and maneuvers and trying to make some things happen. So, yeah, again, good game to my opponents. Hoping here. Oh. Yeah. Hopefully there's going to be some people looking for games, but alright, unit stats, yeah. So, right, bodyguard always does solid. Both of my Bocav, right, 110, 109 kills, right, good KD is here. We're able to do, right, again, late game units for me, right, really it's about the back half of the battle. The Great Guard, this group did not great. These two did well, right? 2-to-1 kill death ratio. So solid enough, right? My bows did alright. Obviously they did the best as far as kills were concerned. These katanas, I think this was probably the one caught up in the woods. And even though it got the least amount of kills, right, it was just kind of able to hold his left, well, my left flank, but his right flank back a little bit. So, very cool. Looks like I might get some games. We got, yeah, so those Yari Ashigaru, you know, this group was the one that survived late. They had an alright fight. So Black Fury here. These Matchlock Samurai did well. That Bocav, right, that was assisting me for part of the battle. That Nodachi did solid. These Naginata Sams did pretty good. Original, let's see. Naginata Samurai, Fire Rockets, 86. Not bad, but not not great number from fire rockets, but it's fire rockets. They are super deadly, or sometimes they're just hard to use, especially if they get taken out early and not able to get all their shots off. And I didn't catch a bunch of that, right? The tendency to lean towards the side that I played on. Still working on that flow and balance, I guess, so to speak. So yeah, Lone Swords did solid. This Great Guard did really good. So strong performance from his Cav, that Yari Cav. So then Giuliano, the Matchlock Sams did good. His Bow Warrior Monks did well, 167 kills. So no dodges, yeah, so and then pretty balanced across the board. So that's it for this one though, guys. If you come across this, hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a good one.